Hello, welcome. My name is Vincent. I'm uploading the second place speedrun for the any percent glitchless category for Legoracers as of the 2nd of February 2023. First track here is Imperial Grand Prix. This is a track which causes you a lot of resets if the whites are missing. This one isn't too interesting to talk about, but I'm going to just talk a little bit about the purpose of this post-commentary, rather than live commentary. Talk about a little bit about the purpose of that, and I'll talk a little bit about the mechanics of Legoracers and how everything works. And then I'll go more focusing on the actual levels as I go. So the purpose of this post-commentary, I did live commentary last time, as my time that I had uploaded last time was at 47:42. During that you can make enough mistakes that you don't really need to reset, right? But this run here has a total time of 46:39. With a run like that, you need to have both good RNG and you need to play making very, very few mistakes. I was resetting for about, I think I've got about 15 to 20 hours worth of footage to be able to get this run. So it's not probably about 15. That is not something I would be doing live commentary for every single time. The purpose of this live commentary, anyway, is that when I started speedrunning Legoracers, it was probably, I think about 3-4 months ago now, or some such. Probably spent maybe 150-ish hours in total. When I had watched originally some of the runs on YouTube, I'm not sure which one came up, just YouTube, Racers Speedrun. I watched a couple of the videos kind of flick through. It was interesting. I'd watch the videos and I would think, oh, their strategies are very different than I thought would be like the most optimal strategy. I wonder why they're doing that. But of course I had no way of actually knowing until I started speedrunning. It turns out, no, they're the uploaded speedruns. They genuinely are the best strategies, and there's just reasons that I hadn't been able to acknowledge. I'm going to interrupt myself here and talk about Dark Forest. Track them up at the moment. This boost here, you need to watch it closely. That white brick there, that ghost, they are the antagonists of Legoracers, right? That ghost's hitbox is just crazy. It's criminal how the hitboxes on this work, because the hitbox of the white brick, your car can be inside of the brick. You can go directly through the brick, but because you are floating, you're flying during this blue boost, you can just go right through it and not collect it at all. However, the ghosty boy, his hitboxes, it's stupid. You can be about 3 car lengths away. He's like, haha, I'm touching you. And it's ridiculous. Anyway, so Robin Hood there, he's making a beeline for this white brick here. So I'm going to narrowly go in and get it there. You can see the bricks here. You have the red, blue, red. I'm deliberately taking the inner path. I narrowly bit into that green as well. Got the broadside. So the NPCs are on rails. I knew that Robin Hood is going to be going for that green. So I'm sorry, not that green brick. He was going to be going for that white brick, because when the levels load, the NPCs, all of them, can go on one of multiple different predetermined paths. I had seen that Robin Hood had picked up that shield. That let me know that he was going to be going for that white brick there. Where the ghost was, where I said it had the red, blue, red, I'm taking the inner path, even though it makes the turn on a lot harder to do, because you need to navigate into the white brick with a tiny hitbox. Almost blind, it's very hard to do. I take the inner path because I need to make fast enough lap times in order to be able to nick that white brick before he gets there. Sometimes he doesn't take it, sometimes he does. So I'm just going to interrupt myself on Dark Forest and talk about this track here actually. It's interesting here, so I was watching speedrun and you boost here. Don't save up for another war. I'm going to take the safety brick there, so I've got a red, blue, blue. I took that safety brick because the second gate, the white brick, that you would naturally be able to pick up is after the red gate. If you have a blue in the second phase of the code, it makes it a lot harder to pick up that brick, and it's fastest to walk. But unfortunately, as a consequence of trying to get that white brick, I lost enough time that Android there was able to go and get that white, which means I need to fall back onto another backup strategy. I'm not certain what my total time for that lap there was. I think this whole Magma Moon Marathon that I just did, it's probably about 3 seconds, 4 seconds off of a best optimal time. I put levels into 3 different categories. Categories are, I can save time on this level, I can lose time on this level, or this level is predictably going to go pretty much the same every way. This level here, Desert Adventure Dragway, I quite like the level, partially because of the brilliant music. I quite like this level though. However, this is a level which unfortunately, it's a level that you load into and you just go, okay, see how the white brick there is missing? You load into the level and you just go, okay, I can only lose time on this level. I hope I have good RNG. This is why it's resetting the top level is so common, so frequent. I believe in this, excuse me, I believe in this Desert Adventure Dragway, yep, this white brick here is missing. You cannot do anything about these bricks being missing, and the white brick here again is missing. So I have to use green boost instead. It's just you load into the level and you see that these bricks are missing and you go, okay, I guess that I have just lost about 7 seconds on this level and you can do nothing about it. When I had recorded my run originally, I had done not post commentary, the live commentary at the time. Oops, I forgot to stop my time with the Redbeard there. That Redbeard I think was about 6:13, 14 from memory. Ideally, you can get Redbeard down to about 6 minutes. If you get very good luck, about 6 minutes 2 to 6 minutes 7. Realistically, you're getting about 6:10, 6:12 on a good one, then about 6:15 for an average one. Anything below, probably about 6:20 for a Redbeard, I would reset. I'll point out as well, so I just said, oops, I forgot to stop the timer. Usually, with speedruns, you would have the timer and you would be manually doing it. However, I wasn't comfortable navigating live split at the same time. I believe there was a live split timer that was set up recently, an automatic one, which is absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, I haven't attempted to get it working on my system yet. An important mechanic to note about the game actually is the way that the white bricks work. So if you pick up a coloured brick, that will automatically respawn after a few seconds. However, if you drive through a brick when you are holding a different coloured brick, then you will swap the two colours until the brick is collected by somebody else who's not holding the brick. However, a white brick will stay despawned until it is used, and therefore, you'll see at the start of IPP here, I'm sorry, not IPP, Tribal Islands Trail, you'll see that I'm going to be picking up the white, and that is to prevent it from being picked up at a later lap by the other NPCs. A lesser known mechanic about the game as well actually is the different type of slides that you have. Rather than calling it drifts in the way that you would with like Mario Kart, etc. It's called power slides. Power slides is the little screechy, the little black lines you see on the ground there. Lesser known mechanic, however, is super slides. If you hold down at the same time as accelerating, so you hold up and down at the same time, hold down the slide and you move, you'll be doing a very, very sharp turn, so it's worth looking out for that with the cart as well. A white brick was supposed to be there. You can see me trying to look back at it. It's missing. Because of that, I've lost another 2.5 seconds having to go through the shortcut for that white brick. Ideally, the amount of time that it will take me to complete that level, you can usually get reliably about 1 minute 21. However, if one of those 2 bricks there are missing for the warp, you lose about 2.5 seconds. Otherwise, you can do the blue boost every time to try get the quickest time. However, it only saves about 1 second, so you get a total time of 1 minute 20. Okay, Royal King Raceway, let's talk about this track here. This track here, unfortunately, is one that you can lose quite a bit of time on. You have a few... This is one of my favourite tracks, so I love this track. However, on lap 2, I'm going to be trying to place the white here. I get it successfully. It's always a bit difficult navigating through these pillars. Ooh, I didn't brake there. Usually I would brake to make sure that I get that one there, but I suppose I didn't. The white here, I make a split-second reaction to see if that white's there. If it's missing, I go for the green instead. The quickest route on this track is to warp into this green here. I'm holding right as I come out of the warp. And then I'm going to be trying to collect these 2 whites here. One's missing, that's okay. if that white was there, and we've now got 2 whites, I'd go into the shortcut and take that. I lucked out here as somebody dropped a white. I wanted to take the 2 whites there. You can get both whites in 1 warp, and then I would be able to walk to the finish line. That wasn't the case. And Achu there, that stupid man, had taken the green, so I had to wait a second for that one there. But that's okay. Some of the RNG with these levels can be very, very tricky, trying to get good times. The green that I had taken out of the warp on lap 2 to build the warp, which I used to warp over the start line, sometimes that's just replaced by a red. That Royal King Raceway level there is a fantastic one. I'm just going to draw myself. I'm watching this boost here. I boosted into the wall in order to slow myself down enough in order to be able to pick up the green brick there. This level here, that's Planet Pathway, is my least favourite level in the game. It's because of a few reasons. One is the shortcut here. You just bounce off of the walls if you touch them. The way that the game recognises... Whoops, I missed that one there. The way that the game recognises collision is it kind of forces you out of it. You don't just hit the wall and go stationary, you kind of hit and bounce off, you can see that. But in the shortcut, you're having to drive so close to the wall in order to pick up the white bricks. And if you miss one of the white bricks, you don't get your warp when you fall down, which loses so much time. But as well as that, this level relies on using quite a few green boosts. I'm calling it a green boost. It's the boost with 1 white. So you would have clearly seen the more white bricks you pick up, the better quality boost you get. However, I would put the warp like SSSS tier, right? It's a warp. It's the most broken mechanic in the world. I think the warp could send you like 3/4 of the distance, and do. You can see me angry honking there because King Kahuna had taken the green. Warps in 3 categories. Like you can, warping is so good. It can go for 3/4 of the distance, and it would still be like the most overpowered thing in the game. I forgot to stop the timer again. Oh no, what am I doing? I stopped the timer for King Kahuna, even though I've got 1 more level left. Oh well. So the live split timer. Just at the bottom. That's okay. That is okay. Green boosts are awful boosts. You can, watch me next time I do a green boost. You see that the car, the front end of the car comes off the ground, so it kind of rears up. It's, I think they did it to kind of make it like, oh, look at how much like speed you're getting. But you lose control of your vehicle. You just cannot turn it, like at the same time as doing it. So Ice Planet Pathway with those green boosts is it's so annoying. It makes navigating so hard. On this level here, Amazon Adventure Alley, this is, in the community, it's like renowned as being the most RNG dependent level. A white's missing there. And it respawns just as I went past. This level here is just like your whites can be missing. Coming out of the shortcut here, I've got a 2571 and I just got a 2580, something like that. You cannot beat a chew to that green brick. I've elected to actually go back. So you could see there that NPC actually drove into the red with a green and it swapped it over. That's changed my course, so I decided to go for that one there. But sometimes those green bricks, they're just swapped with a shield. They're just swapped with a cannonball, so you just can't do anything. This is a level that you go into, so my final lap time there was 29.80. This is a level that you just go into, and if you see that the bricks are missing, you just go, well, okay, I guess that I've just lost 8 seconds. In some of my previous attempts, I would be getting like 38, 40 second lap times on those last ones. Right, on that last lap, because the bricks will be missing. So it's quite exciting, because the next series of tracks that we're going to go into, the next circuit, is Basil the Batlord. Basil the Edgelord. His series of tracks. The first track that we're going to be going into is Knightmare-athon, which is famously the only track in LEGO Racers that does not have a shortcut. It's very interesting, because if you go up to some of the walls and try to look through them, if you put the camera at a very specific angle, you can actually see that there's still a series of bricks that have not been removed by the developers. There was originally going to be 2 shortcuts for Knightmare-athon. The first is at the series of broomsticks towards the end of the track. There is a very clear circle in the wall where there was going to be a boulder that you could shoot through to, it will take you near the start line. And the other shortcut is just at that pillar there. You can still see red bricks at the top. Coming out of that warp there, I'm holding the left. Otherwise, if you do not hold left coming out of that warp, you hit a part of the terrain and your car gets shot up. So I'm taking the blue there, and I'm swapping it with the cannonball, and I'm shooting the cannonball. The way that the bricks work is if you have, say, a blue brick, and you drive into the red, it's going to swap the red brick with the blue brick, and you've now got the blue brick. Because, so I'm going to pick up the shield, swap it with the red, and that way there's going to be a shield in place there now, and you can see the red dot on the map. That's Basil the Batlord. He's now picked up the shield, and he has used it as soon as he has got it. So you can see that it's now a red, because he had driven with a red into that blue, and he had used the shield before driving into the green brick that I just picked up. If I didn't swap out those bricks, it would probably about 50% chance be a red instead. So I'm holding out. Strategy of this level, Knightmare-athon, best music in the game. Level here is a bit, it's very straightforward strategy. This is one of the levels that you kind of go into and you just hope for lap 3 that everything goes well. Laps 1 and 2, really predictable. Except for the witch who's dropping the bombs there. Sometimes, when you come out of that initial warp, she will just drop a bomb right in front of you, and when you get hit by a projectile at the same time as using the boost, you don't stop, you don't slow down, you just fly, you just like go up in the air, like you get knocked up still, and you fly over the blue brick, and you can't swap it with a shield. We've gone into Pirate Skull Pass here. This is a level which I really struggled with for the longest time, and it's because of this here. Watch this warp carefully. You can see that I warped at a very specific time, and I got shot out of the warp and had collected the green brick as I came out. It took me ages to be able to navigate that warp properly, and because of that, it's not too important to get it for the first lap. I got a lap time of 28:46 there, which is a really good lap. That brick there is very hard to navigate into as well. You end up gaining too much speed and you usually slide over it. Lap 2. Okay, it's been swapped with red. This level has a bit of RNG here because that green can be swapped with the red, and I would ideally like to take the same path as what I did for lap 1. However, it's been swapped with red. That's okay. Lap 2, there's almost always a green at the bottom here, so I can now warp here. However, if I took my first the same route as I did the first time, I would have one more white brick here. You can see me angry honking there because I wanted to be able to use the green here. I didn't notice that he was going into it there, so I've taken a bit of a risky thing here. I'm getting the blue boost, grab the white, and hope that I get the green, that he takes it. That was not the best strategy that I could have done there, honestly, but spur of the moment, you're making decisions. I'm still going to get an okay lap time by the end. I think there's a green here. No, there isn't. I'm just going to honk all the way to the finish line. This was a big time loss level for me here. I could have done things a little bit differently, but a 42-second lap time, that's really not ideal. If you get perfect RNG, you can get about a 30 to 31 second lap time every single time. However, that last lap, if I didn't use the blue boost, then the green brick that Sam Sinister had taken, that would have respawned if I just drove at a normal pace. And I could have collected that one as well, and I actually used a warp, and warping, as I said, is like the best thing you can do. Adventure Temple Trial here. I've got the blue, I'm swapping it with that red, and shooting it. Basil the Batlord later. Hopefully, he's not going to swap that blue. There is so much to commentate here. This level here is it's the most tricky level in the game. There is so much going on at every single moment. The first thing that surprised me when I watched the speedrun is that you do not warp through that laser trap. It's actually best to blue boost. The reason for that is when you blue boost, even though it's difficult to navigate yourself with it, so I didn't hold brake out of the warp, so I actually got shot out pretty fast. The good thing about the blue boost is it takes you the same distance as what a warp does, except you can pick up bricks. That's one of the only downsides of the warp, that you cannot pick things up at the same time. And it happens to be that if you get this one white brick here, there's 2 white bricks here. This means that you can warp through the shortcut and save a lot of time. So it's best to use that blue boost, even though you could collect a warp and use the warp. That way you have a boost ready. it's extremely hard to beat these NPCs to these bricks here. Another part of RNG in the level is that the NPCs will not only be on their predetermined path. So it's actually quite lucky that I was able to get the boost here, get the walk there rather. So the NPCs are on rails. They're going to be taking the same route every time. But sometimes they will just be swapping the green bricks out and you can't do anything about it. I'm ignoring the white bricks there because it's the final lap, and whether I get a green boost or a blue boost, it takes you at the same speed, so it's actually best to just do a normal boost there. Had a 34-35 second lap time, 34.6. Don't know why I'm being specific. That's a good ATT altogether. The lap 3 of that level is so hard. It's so hard. The last level, like that last lap. This level here, Amazon Adventure Rally, to me this is kind of a freebie, this level. It's one of my favourite levels because it's pretty predictable. The most tricky thing though is using the warp coming out here, trying to land in front of the shields. I just realised I derailed myself earlier and I finished talking about the NPCs, we'll get back to that. That there is the most difficult trick, having to come out of the warp and instantly be able to pick up the shield. The way that the warp works is that, this isn't strictly true, people in the community will correct me straight away, but the warp always takes you the same amount of distance. I know it doesn't, let me get to it. But it's slightly unpredictable where exactly it's going to send you, like more, on the horizontal plane, whether it's going to take you more left or more right. So navigating into the shield can be very, 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 very tricky. This level is one of my favourites as well, because using just normal boosts, your car doesn't lift off the ground when you use it, and normal boosts are just so fun to use, because you still maintain your steering extremely well. When I... excuse me, I'm just going to clear my throat. When I come out of that warp sequence, back there, when I come out of the shortcut, I'm holding right, like once I cross a certain panel on the floor. You have like the cubes, the boxes on the floor. I'm holding right once I pass a certain box, and I know that every single time that's going to navigate my car directly into the green boost. And because it's such a straight path for the shortcut, it gives you heaps and heaps of time to line it up. Anyway, NPCs on pathways. You cannot determine what pathway they are on most of the time, because you're just not going to be within their vicinity to see what pathway that they are taking. But another part of RNG is sometimes they're just going to go faster and sometimes they're going to go slower, right? It's that's something else you just can't do anything about. It's sometimes by lap 3 of ATT, Adventure Temple Trial, the level that I just played. Well, 2 levels ago now. Sometimes they'll just go fast enough that they just collect the green and you just can't do anything. It can be, but the game's fun to speedrun for this reason as well. It can be quite frustrating at a high level, trying to make sure that everything's like going perfectly your way. But at the same time, that's half of the challenge, right? It's trying to find out, like, okay, this has happened, this is out of my control. How do I react? The green brick's taken. What do I do now? The white brick's taken. What do I do now? So I'm very fortunate. I think from memory I have both warps available for me here. I'm quite fortunate with RNG. As I said, this level here, great music, fun level, but it's very simplistic, and sometimes if your white bricks aren't there, so it is going to be here this time, I remember. It's just luck. I can't do anything about it. It's just luck. It's just you see it and you go, oh, thank you. I'm now able to save a bunch of time. I'll talk a little bit more about the boosts actually. So just a normal boost with no white power up, they are very fun and very easy to use. The reason for it is you still maintain a lot of your control at the same time as you're within the boost. The green boost, however, it takes the front of your car off of the ground, and it restricts you from steering. Once you start the boost, you cannot steer your car for the first, probably second of the boost. It makes it really, really tricky to be able to steer. The exception for this is if you are already in a boost and you use the green boost, it does not lift your car up off of the ground. So it can be a good strategy if you're within, if you've got a green boost you need to use it at the same time as you're already boosted from something else. So I'm doing all the mirrored tracks here. It's the same strategies. It's unfortunate that I missed that brick there. You can save a little bit of time. So I've got a code of red, blue, red. I'm going to be warping into this green. The warping into blocks adds a whole other level of strategy as well for the game here. So once again, I'm going to be trying to do the same. This here, this level, red, blue, red, just. This level here is, it's usually one of my strengths. It's usually a level that I can get right every time. I make a mess of it. You're going to see me get a awful final lap here. Like at this point from here onwards, I'm not speedrunning. I'm just playing the game. Why did I shield there? I don't know. There's nobody in my vicinity. I realised at the last second, oh dear, I don't have a white, and I panicked and I didn't realise what sides the white were on. I boosted, and you can see the front of the car go up, and I'm bunting into the ground. Awful finish. I got a 28.28 second lap time. If you use the optimal route, you can get like a 19 second lap time. I just lost like 8 to 9 seconds by just, I don't even know, just by not thinking. Like, because I struggled to go through that last gate, I lost enough time that the NPCs were able to take the white bricks that I would usually rely on getting. But I didn't think about that. I just forgot about that at the time. I was just so panicked about having missed the brick. Oh, this Dark Forest dash here. I'm very proud of this Dark Forest dash because it's perfect. This Dark Forest dash here, I get everything right. That trick there, as I said, very hard to navigate. At this point here, I think what was going through my head is just like, okay, stuff this level, right? I just got a 25.85 second lap time. You heard me say earlier that if you kind of veer into the ground there, you can get a like good lap. 25.85, brilliant lap time. At this point here, I was just like, I never want to play this level again. I want to get this right. And it's this level here is one that you practice over and over and over and over, trying to be able to get that trick. So doing it mirrored can be very tricky for that reason. So I'm very happy with how things are going here. I come out of the warp and I see Robin Hood, and I see him take the shield. Remember what I said earlier about him being on the pathway to take the shield? I see him and I just go, no, you're not getting the white brick. So I'm able to do this trick 3 times in a row, and I'm very, very happy with the outcome of this one here. So you can see when you're in the blue boost that your car, it actually tilts left and right, and that makes steering it extremely, extremely difficult. If you if you tilt your car over different terrain, it completely stuffs up the steering of the car. If you start turning while you change elevation in terrain, what normally happens is that your car is just stuck at that level of tilt, and you veer. It stays like that until the boost ends. So when using blue boosts, you have to be really, really, really careful about when you use them and what terrain you go over. In a couple of levels, you'll see me occasionally take routes that just do not seem like the most efficient route. Because surely, doing straight lines between different points is the quickest way to go. But not quite the case, because you can lose track of your steering by going over different levels of terrain with the car there. I believe this Imperial Grand Prix goes fairly well. You can see here that I'm deliberately taking the inner route there in order to, as I said, making straight lines here. I'll talk a bit about the warps, actually. So I said earlier that the warps every single time take you the same distance. That's not actually true. It's what happens. I believe that the AI takes over your car during the warp sequence, and it would take you kind of like a predetermined distance, right? But it's really tricky. You can see me warping exactly there, and the reason for that is it just, I think maybe I don't know, it's so hard to say, but depending where you warp, it can take you slightly shorter or slightly longer. Generally, it's going to take you the same, roughly the same distance every time. But yeah, when you're trying to speedrun kind of at the top level, you want to kind of optimize these warp times. You have what is kind of just being termed short warps in the community. There's a couple of places that if you warp there, you just get really short distance warps. There's been some funny clips posted in the Discord of people just warping and getting the car just gets spat out, 1 car distance away from where they initiated the warp, and it's so silly. It's funny with the speedrun, it's quite clear that you'd be using the green bricks over and over. Just making sure I navigate the menu correctly. I did. Yeah, you'd be using the green bricks over and over because it's a speedrun. You want to go fast, right? Yellow bricks, never used in the speedrun except for one level. You use an oil slick on like one of the levels. You can see there that I didn't take the biggest ramp. I kind of went slightly to the left, so I'll get like less air time, so you can only accelerate when you're on the ground. With this warp here, I kind of just, when you warp out, you hit the wall and you get bounced off, and I rely on that bounce to be able to navigate into the green brick here. I can't remember how this ATT goes actually. So for context, it's currently 11:20 in the morning when I'm recording this. And I did the run yesterday, probably at about 12 PM or something like that. It was one day ago that I did the warp here. Quite lucky that the white bricks are there. I need to warp into that white. So warping into the whites is a huge part of the strategy. With some levels, like the Royal Knight's Rush, you can warp and collect more than one white brick at once. What I'm hoping for here is that I can go fast enough to try beat a chew to the green, and it never happens. So I actually remember to get quite a good one here. So we're watching closely here. I've got the green brick, that's good. I've got no other whites. I can see that one there. I want the green brick. I get there, and I get it. Actually, it's quite fortunate. I was expecting something different to happen there. You could hear me building up to something else. I flashed the camera back there to see who it was. I know that it's the Royal Knight. He does not have a weapon on him, so I knew that it was safe to warp there. You want to warp and make sure that your warp does not cross over the finish line, because of course that'll be wasting time. My last lap time there was like 27:33. On the bad laps, it can get like 38 or something like that. I'm very happy with that. This is a kind of level here that I just got a good time on. So this is Ice Planet Pathway. Let's watch my boost here and what happens. So hit the wall, I've landed on the green there, I'm able to boost over, and from here, it's, oh thank goodness I've managed to go over. I play with the camera drawn back. You can see that my car was like tilted up there, so I deliberately brake. So I know that if I brake, my car's just going to be just bouncing into the ground over and over and over. So it's actually quickest in that case to brake. So what happens with a boost is your car's locked. This includes the normal boost. Your car's locked into just going forwards for a short period of time, and then afterwards, after about a second, you can like maintain control of your steering again. This level's kind of fun in the sense that when you're able to use the boosts, the normal boosts, where you still maintain a lot of control of your car. But the green boosts, oh, I don't like it at all. This track here, actually, Magma Moon Marathon, and this lap here, you're about to see me make stupid mistakes. I should have boosted there. I'm relying on there being two whites here for the warp. I heard the NPCs collect these bricks, but I wasn't focusing, so I think, what do I do here? Okay, I'm going to collect this green. Okay, but I can fly over these whites. I'm going to use my boost here. 1, 2, okay, get the white. Oh no, go back for it. Hitbox, hitbox, there you go. Angry honks. To be honest, that wasn't as bad as I remember, but going over the finish line here, 36 seconds. If you do things optimally, you can get like 26 seconds. So my two big time wastes on this run that I could have saved time on was that lap there. I've wasted about 10 seconds, and the previous Magma Moon Marathon. I think apart from that, this run has gone fairly well. We're going into Royal Knight Rush here. You can see me when I go off the start line. I'm doing what's called, well, what I call anyway, boss bumping. You immediately drive into the opponents, and that slows them down. You kind of like clip the corner of your car with theirs. I should have pointed that out in the Redbeard section, actually. Just going to put the trucks off here. I think I missed this white. Yes. The hitbox is very unforgiving. I think I missed this one too, don't I? Yeah. I was thinking like, oh no, I've got to make up time, I'm not going to brake. And I missed it. Fortunately though, I've got the three white bricks there. The placement of that shortcut though, I'm sorry, not the shortcut, so you can see that I've got the red there. It's really interesting having the shortcut, which is a shorter distance, and having the grass within the shortcut, and having the 3 white bricks just outside of the shortcut. That is such good design, right? Because you can warp, and the warping and the blue boosts ignores terrain. Yep, so you can warp and fly over the green. Over the grass. See me doing angry honks there because I missed the green. You can fly over the terrain, so you can. It has a lot of like strategy And I'm just honking all the way to the finish line here. It's the walk of shame, not beating the NPCs. I had a 27-point lap time. I should have had about 22 if everything goes to plan. Honk of shame. Walk of shame there. Warping through the shortcut, you're able to just kind of like, you know, ignore the terrain. But if you don't go through the shortcuts, you get the 3 wides. So it has a lot of strategy involved if like thinking about what's best to do. A huge flowchart for that level about like decision making. So you can see me boss bump Baron von Baron there. One of the mechanics of the game is sometimes the NPCs would just get at this. They would get a random boost. They won't have a green brick. They will just randomly get a boost and they just go flying off at the start line. So with that track there, you can have Baron von Baron occasionally fly off the start line. I'm sorry, I'm just going to interrupt myself here. You can see me not boost straight away. I'm electing to slightly turn so my car is angled at the correct. It's like directly forwards. I do not need to turn at the start of that. I'm using that boost there. You can start the boost early and get off of the sand as quickly as possible. But boosting and then straight away turning or holding turn while boosting just can completely bury your car in the ground and completely stuff up the... it can make you veer, you know. It's not good practice. So, as I said earlier, I could boost here for a faster lap time. However, it is risky as the whites aren't always at the end. This is kind of a safety strategy, right? I'm going a bit wide here to make sure that I don't miss this white. And there's a white missing there. That's a shame. And it respawns just as I pass by. I remember actually that I didn't drive directly through. I think that if I drove through where the white brick was, and it's always good practice to do that, and it would have respawned on top of me, and I might have got it. I think I might have been a bit late. I'm sorry, excuse me, I've just looked at the live split and I've just noticed that I've stuffed up my timer for where things are. Oh, well, forgive me for that. That's okay. Yes, I'll keep. This live split time, I actually forgot that I did that. So my partner pointed out to me that there's no, like, female heroes except for Gypsy Moth, the very last one. So I've just put her name in as last-minute gender equality. It's as if they got, you know, 6 races in and they just were like, oh no, we've got no female racers, quick, put one in. So, there's last-minute gender equality right there. There's me stuffing up the menus. You can see that it's very sad about it. Very sad, very unfortunate. At this point, I'm thinking, oh dear, I haven't quite got enough time to be able to beat. So the timer at the moment is at 37:23. I don't actually know how that compares to what J-Neck's current time during his run would be. I kill Gypsy Moth. I do so well on this circuit. This circuit, I think, is what kind of earned me the time there. So I'm holding down the left button and the right time to when I pick up the green. You can see that that put me directly in line with the shield. It's the best setup that I have been able to find. Also, when I use that first boost just there, I'm holding right when I use the boost, because if not, the car goes over a funny angle and you can't get a lot of air. I'll say exactly when. I'm holding left here. That's when I start holding left. There's actually... I'm holding a bit early, apparently, there. So I managed to get another shield. I'm very happy about that. You can see that it angled me slightly differently. So it's a very split-second reaction there to be able to try pick up the correct... brick there. I just want to talk quickly about, if you look up Legoracers on Wikipedia, right, there's, you can read some reviews, you can see some, excuse me, you can see some comments that people have, like, posted about the game. People were criticising, like, Legoracers for having, like, poor level aesthetics and, like, a lack of environmental design. What are you talking about? There's so much like environmental design. I think that's one of the game's strengths. Like, there's so much to do. There's so much with like that pillar there with a little coin on. If you hit that the coin shakes in like IPP, there's the there's the planes flying around and everything. There's so much detail in the game. I love it. Okay, I'm going to commentate the actual level here. I'm warping and I'm holding out left, straight out of the warp. That is able to make me miss those two sorry, missed those two. I'm able to drive through without hitting one of the bricks there. If I hit the red or the blue and swap it with that green there, that means that green is not going to be available, so it is absolutely imperative that I do not swap those bricks. I'm coming out here, and from here on is where I like really make the run, this level work for me. I'm able to get one here, so I'm warping about now. I'm warping quite early to make sure that I don't get set so far forward. It's giving me enough reaction time. There's two versions of the game. One's a 1999 release, and there's a 2001 release. In the 2001 release, how I've been kind of commenting a lot, you can avoid the curse here by going far enough left or right. Oh gosh, there's so much to say. Okay, I'll come back to that thought in a moment. I'm coming out here. Do I get the green? Yes, I get the green. I'm very happy about that. I get hit by that boost there, which is unfortunate. I decide that it's best to boost just to get past the stinger, otherwise you can spend a lot of time there. I'm very happy that I am able to get the warp there. I'm able to warp into the green here, and I'm able to boost to the finish line. So I've taken pretty much the same route that I did the first time. However, I had a bit of better RNG. You can see that I'm avoiding those whites again. I'm crossing the finish line at a 31.8. My first lap was about 37.5. My second was about 31.8. And my second lap was 31.15. Those are so quick. I'm so happy with that ATT there. ATT is the biggest I can lose time or I can gain time levels. It's one of my least favourite and favourite for the same reason. On lap 3, it's so tricky because you can barely beat the NPCs to the green brick there. I made a joke in the Discord server saying like, my strategy is I'm just going to drive really fast in that last level there. So I've got a PSP trick, that's good. On ATT there, I just took no safety strategies. I didn't swap any of the bricks out. I didn't break out of warp. I just did everything just recklessly, and I managed to get to the green before Sam Sinister. Yeah, that level of detail that I was saying, like that pirate ship shoots cannonballs. It's so rare to see the cannonball hit the ground. I'm not sure if it's because I had such a quick lap time. This PSP here I can do a very good job on as well. I've had very good RNG with some of the bricks as well, so I've got a green now rather than a red. I'm very happy with that, because quite often that would be swapped out for either a red brick or a yellow brick. We'll be walking into the white here. So I'm quickly just going to finish that thought on the 1999. Yes, so I've got the green brick here. 1999 and 2001. 2001 they tried to fix the way that your car steers. So if you use a blue boost, your car is just stabilised the entire way through. That's one of the boons of playing that version. So because I had the green, I decided to walk into the green because I didn't want to risk doing the PSP trick to be able to pick it up, because what if it was swapped out with a different brick colour? Because I was able to pick up that green brick at the end of lap 2, because it had been swapped out, I was able to build up a warp here, and I'm trying to warp to the finish line. I've got one race left, there's still so much to say. So with you might think, okay, well why don't you just play on the 2001 version, if your car's stabilised and if the steering's easier. And the reason is that it means that when you go down terrain, say with the Tribal Island trial, the first level of King of Kunis. You can see me boss bunting Gypsy there, make sure it's further back the path. On Tribal Island trial, for instance, when you have to go down onto the sand, you miss the shortcut, you go down onto the sand to collect the green brick. On the 2001 version, your car just completely... it's something about the code they did to stabilise your car cannot go down that without completely going off track. It's pretty ridiculous. But as well as that, the hitboxes on the 2001 version are huge as well. So I stuff up here, I just lost focus and I picked up the red rather than the blue. I was supposed to go into the blue and shoot that, but I just lost focus. I've been running for probably about 3 hours at this point, I just lost focus there. So yes, the 1999 version is played, however the 2001 and 1999 version are both come under the same category. Something else I wanted to say during this actually. You can see me quite often doing skids. Generally, the closer you are to the finish line, or the closer you are to the most optimal like driving route, that is the best place to warp for being able to go the furthest amount of distance. Quite often you'll see me doing these doing these skids just before I warp. So I'm in lap 3 here. I had really bad luck with some of my other runs for lap 3 of Knightmare-athon, so I'm very happy that I managed to get the warp here. I'm going to warp at that point there, and I'm hoping that I get green. And then see, unfortunately, picks it up. But I finish Knightmare-athon with a 31.96 second lap time, which I am quite happy with. Going into Rocket Racer Rush for my last level here, and Rocket Racer he's a bully. Like, Achu is definitely the main antagonist of Legoracers. He just picks up all your bricks. Him and Redbeard, I would say. Right, but Rocket Racer. My strategy for Rocket Racer is for him to not get a boost and go into the red brick. The reason for the red brick specifically is that if Rocket Racer boosts and goes into the green brick, you can pick up the red brick and shoot him, and that completely slows him down. But if he goes into the red brick, he gets such an unfair boost, and he just would pick up all the white bricks, all the green bricks, and it can even be hard to beat Rocket Racer, even in a speedrun setting. So I'm praying, please don't get a boost. Nobody else got a boost. I was very, very happy with that, because I've completed about, I think, 8 runs over the last kind of like couple of weeks, and I think like 5 out of 8 runs or something like that, he boosted into the red, which is such poor RNG. So bad RNG. This is coming up to one of my favourite tricks in speedrun, actually. You warp here, I'm going to get shot straight facing the wall. I power slide, pick up the 3. This one's my favourite here. Warp into the red. Shoot the passage, go through. I love that sequence. You cover so much ground in such a short period of time. So lap 2 is quite self-explanatory for Rocket Racer. I'm trying to warp into this one here. I'm going to be doing the same thing, trying to pick up the bricks. I'm warping there rather than at the green brick, because it lets me pick up one more white, and quite often the white brick can be missing here. So I'm able to take the same route here. I think there is technically a faster route for Rocket Racer. This is one of the levels that I have practiced the least, because it's not mirrored. I only have to play this level once. So as long as I can get an okay route, so I kind of make it... I don't think it's necessarily a mistake, but I get hooked here. I was hoping to just go into one of the greens there and be able to pick it up and be able to just walk, but oh well, no worries. Oops, I just realised I need to fix my time. I just not the right time here. There. 36:38.98. It's pretty much 36:39. And that is the speedrun, right up until J-Nick in 1 week's time decides to try and get a better time than me. I want to thank my extremely patient partner, Antika, who has been so patient with me. So she's like 7 months pregnant, just been trying to sleep. It's like midnight. And I was like, no, I'm going to play Legoracers. So she's been very patient with me, so thank you so much to her. And a very big thank you to J-Nick as well for being so supportive with my runs as well, especially considering I've been in competition with him, trying to take his 2nd place. So we'll see how long that lasts. Big thank you to Grill, to Miro, to Basil, and to Green. If anybody would like to speedrun Legoracers, the community is very, very good. Just go on to speedrun.com, you can see the Discord link. Oh, this is quite interesting, actually. I don't even know how that got in. I swear that I didn't edit that in. I wonder how that happened.